Who is Belle Delphine? Quick intro. Since Belle Delphine isn't that active anymore, it's time for me to try to know more about this character. So most of my opinion will be about the time when she was that big. Currently she seems quiet, but I don't hold my breath and wait for this quietness to continue. I think she'll come back. I think she will make a comeback, or at least try to. Results might not be as big as when she was still popular, but I think she'll do something that will catch the attention of her many simps and the media and social media. So, my main goal in making this video is just to try to know a little bit about her. I follow a lot of online personalities and consume their content, but there are also a lot of online personalities that are just unlikable, especially those personalities who are cringe, unfunny, attention seekers, scandal reliant, and straight up disrespectful. And maybe all of the above. And to be honest, I thought Belle Delphine belonged in those categories. That's why I never really bothered consuming content about her or reading articles about her. I wasn't really that curious enough to want to know about her, so I dismissed her as simply similar to those annoying prank channels. But after years of avoiding that pink-haired girl, after finally deciding to sit down and do a quick reading and watch a lot of podcasts about her, well, all I can say is, LOL. Glad I did. Belle Delphine is one interesting person and a character. So, in this video, I'll try to answer this very simple question for myself. Who is Belle Delphine? Chapter 1. A character and a brand. Pretty sure many of you already know that the woman behind the Belle Delphine character and brand is a woman by the name of Mary Belle Kirshner. Belle was born on the 23rd of October 1999 in South Africa and into a religious family. Maybe that bit some of you didn't know. In the H3 podcast, Belle stated, quote, "I come from a very conservative family, like super religious. I've got like family in the church." End quote. She moved to the UK and attended school. However, she dropped out when she was 14 because she was bullied. Belle supported herself doing odd jobs like being a waitress, a nanny, and a barista. At the age of 14 was also the time when she started sharing photos of her wearing costumes, obviously the starting point of what we know of about her today. And it was also during this age that she started finding interest in older men. Belle would state in her interview with DeFranco that her mom seemed to not care when she disappeared for a day to meet up with a 25-year-old man. Belle was gone for a day and came back. Her mom didn't ask where she had gone. Belle said she'd brag about her friends about how her mom was cool because she didn't care. Later, she revealed something interesting in the same podcast. Belle said, quote, "In the UK, it was really a big thing for like 25-year-old men. She was pertaining to the older men in emo bands, to be dating 14-year-olds. So like all my friends were in like this type of community. Yeah, it really was." End quote. One good thing happened to her online presence though. Over the next 2 or 3 years, her online following grew to around 100,000. Upon seeing this, she thought she should find ways to capitalize on this growth. One notable story though before all the success came in. According to Belle in the H3 podcast, she didn't want to do any odd jobs anymore because of one bad experience she had in her nanny job where a mother came home very late, 16 hours late, and Belle had to wait. She had lost sleep and didn't get any tip for her troubles whatsoever. When she turned 18, she moved to Instagram and started posting NSFW photos. But just sharing photos wasn't good enough. Belle knew that on the internet there were millions of cute girls out there just like her. And now she's gaining a following and she must do something about it. She thought she needed to take advantage of the fact that her follower count is increasing. But at the same time, Belle needed to figure out a way to make herself stand out, to make people more interested in her, which later on of course she would figure out, and would find success in it. I don't need to explain this as I'm pretty sure you already know the product that she sells. So, she became Belle Delphine we know now of today. In the official podcast, when asked if she plays into men having expectations so they could pay her more, Belle replies, only to a degree, adding, "I think when I can see that it's becoming negative, if they're like too obsessional. I definitely play on the sexual aspect of course. I want to be the sexual fantasy, but relationship-wise, it's weird." End quote. Time passed, and after building her brand and sharing a lot of content, the world finally got to know who Belle Delphine is. And many became fans to many things she did, and things she produced beside her lewd cosplays. From her ahegao face, to selling her bathwater, to getting quote-unquote arrested for rescuing her hamster, to her scandalous fantasy kidnapping photoshoot, to a conspiracy of her dying, to her social media accounts getting banned, to her disappearance, and to her coming back with OnlyFans account, that no matter what she did, during that time, she commanded attention and business transaction from her very respectable high number follower counts. Wow. Sure enough, one could say Belle made it, financially and familiarity as a brand. A brief tangent. Her style and brand have become way too popular and profitable that it created a lot of copycats producing the same content online. On Instagram, for example, sometimes it becomes too annoying to see the almost similar kawaii cat girl or anime girl or gamer girl cosplay that Belle Delphine does. It's also becoming very typical for other girls to do the ahegao face as if it's become a requirement if you want to do an NSFW account content beyond Instagram. And the site is also flooded with the Belle Delphine innocent girl character type, which with pastel hair color and thick but innocent looking creamy makeup. And finally, even the same style in photography that Belle does, from sitting position to the room presentation to the room color and even the angle of photo and pose. Bruh. Chapter 2. Attention generator and a savvy marketer. Of course, come on. You've already seen this coming from a mile away. Belle Delphine was good at generating attention while being good at marketing her stuff. Example, when her ahegao face blew up, she wanted to take advantage of that. Speaking on the H3 podcast, Belle stated, quote, "I need to figure out a way for people to get interested in me. I got the taking cute pictures and stuff, but that's not really gonna do it. There's so many cute girls on the internet. I need to do something that will make people even say negative things about me or just have a conversation. Having a conversation is how you propel things on the internet. So I decided to do weird things in the combination as well as sexy. And people will share that." End quote. And figure out she did. She started doing a lot of weird and strange things which caught the attention of many and helped propel her online profile even farther. This of course benefited her a lot. From Vice.com, quote, "She spooned up cereal, then poured the milk over her body. She slurped down raw egg and stuck googly eyes on a dead octopus. Her commitment to the bit was commendable. All the while, her fixed, suggestive smile never wavered. She's self-aware and willing to embrace the absurdity of her station to create real comedy." End quote. Belle was able to create an audience with her weird stunts and market them as her products, and it worked. She also understood what her audience wanted. She understood what her salivating audience craved for, and Belle, well, she played them like a fiddle. In addition to her stunts, Belle made it seem that she's attainable in the eyes of her audience, that she's that girl guys can shoot for and win over. She provided men the ideal girl they wanted and hoped for. The gamer girl, the hot innocent girl, the crazy weird girl, the weak girl that needed help, and so on and so forth. The fantasy she provided and the marketing behind it obviously worked, as Belle would find financial success from all of this. Quoting Rolling Stone, trying to explain why Belle is popular. Quote, "First is that she's a hot girl who takes her clothes off online, a winning formula for any female aspiring influencer. The second, and more complicated answer, is that Delphine capitalizes on, and, arguably, knowingly exploits a number of internet-based female sexuality tropes." End quote. Others might interpret Belle as being this capitalistic succubus manipulating men by using fantasized female tropes, but one can also look at all her actions as the only reasonable move for her brand to actually make profit from all the shenanigans and stunts she does. However, it seems there's a line she's not willing to cross while making profit from her lewd content and marketing ploy. From the official podcast, where she talks about the audience and understanding their psyche and the extent she'll go to with them, she states, quote, "I think men are more happy to feel like helping a girl out. They're giving this girl money to help her. Like, to help her with her life? That's what they kind of like to feel like. Like, they're caring for this girl beyond seeing their content. They also want to feel like the alpha guy, like supporting this girl and stuff like that. I have a lot of guys that actually expect to date me, and they're kind of confused. It's really hard when such strong emotion comes involved. It's a hard playing ground because I don't want to upset them, and I also don't want to push them away. I don't want to corrupt their life. End quote. Her strategy in marketing were not limited to sharing only lewd content in weird video clips. She also knows how to use trolling as part of her strategy of generating an audience and catching the attention. In an IG post, Delphine announced if her photo got 1 million likes, she would make a P-Hub account. The time has finally come, she wrote. Unsurprisingly, that post did reach 1 million likes from fans who were salivating over the idea of seeing her more explicit content from their sexual goddess. Belle made good on her word. She uploaded 12 videos with lusty titles such as Belle Delphine gets huge dripping cream pie. But the video posts came with the twists. Those who clicked on the Belle Delphine gets huge dripping cream pie were treated to a brief clip of Delphine actually making a cream pie. In another video which promised to show Belle Delphine playing with her, thing down there, featured Belle Delphine playing with 2 stuffed cats. And my favorite, Belle Delphine strokes 2 big cocks. Dear God, YouTube, chicken, caca, chicken, chicken, chicken. Reaction to the stunts were mixed. While many fans were amused, others felt betrayed. Bruh. From Rollingstone magazine, quote, "She has broken people's hearts and destroyed their dignity." One hilariously butthurt comment from a fan read, "The only apology we will accept is real videos and not these fake disgusting lies." If anything else, the Pornhub channel cemented Delphine's reputation as a savvy self-marketer and a consummate troll. Bruh. Chapter 3. A self-aware owner of the character and the brand. From all the podcasts I watched that she was in, it seems, at least for me, she tried to be self-aware. Why do I say so? And why do I feel like this was something bad for her? Well, for one, she understood there's hate directed towards her, and she tries to deal with it as a person and not as the Belle Delphine popular sex symbol. I mean, she did not use her popularity and fans to do crazy things, a la Sniper Wolf doxing Jack's films to her millions of followers. That's so dumb for her to do. Anyway, another example of Belle Delphine's self-awareness. A lot of people are calling her out that her job is not real because it does not follow the traditional definition of what a real job is. She addresses this surprisingly in a very mature manner in the official podcast, stating, quote, "I think maybe from their perspective, I can understand. I'm gonna generalize that these guys who are really angry about it are probably working annoying jobs like a normal job, hours, which is a long days for X amount. And I guess they are seeing these girls, and I can understand from their perspective seeing these girls making, easy money from OnlyFans." End quote. Belle does recognize the fact that she still needs to do work in order to make money, as it is not just a simple wearing of lewd costumes, taking photos of herself, sharing these photos online, and calling it a day. According to her, she still needs to put on makeup, set up her background, set up her costumes, set up the camera and lighting, and from there, try to produce the best product she can. Another example of her self-awareness can be observed when Philip DeFranco asked Belle how much it would cost to sell her soul. By that, he meant how much money would convince Belle to make a P video under a company. To which Delphine replied, quote, "Maybe 20, 30, something like that. It depends because it's I don't want to ruin my opportunity to be able to come back. One thing is if you sell yourself for an X amount, right? You don't want to look back and be if I had just continued, I could have made more than that maybe. And I would still have the rights over myself and everything. I don't like feeling forced, being forced to do things. It's not great." End quote. In that quote alone, not only did she understand the possibility of not being able to come back after making a P video, working for a company, but she also understood that the rights to her image and likeness in those videos might end up not becoming hers. And possibly, she understands that there might be a possibility of her not even getting residuals from all the P videos she'll make under a big company. Of course, notable is her awareness of not wanting to be forced to do what she does not like. Belle Delphine does share lewd and adult content for many to consume, but it seems there are things in that line of work she's not willing to do, especially when she's forced. Or maybe not willing for the lack of preparation, or maybe not willing because of the wrong price. Whatever reason she has, Belle is self-aware and she understands her worth and value as a person and as a brand. Last example of her being self-aware might help change the way we see Belle Delphine if we are coming from the very judgmental side. From the official podcast, when asked whether she strings men along to drain them of their money, Belle replied that she does not totally do all those, despite these men having too many expectations and fantasies. However, in all these podcast interviews I've watched and listened to, I felt like she revealed way too much. Indeed, she was self-aware in those interviews, trying to be the Belle Delphine character, and at the same time trying to show us that she is also Belle Delphine, the person. And I also want to add that in those podcast interviews, I felt she actually was playing a character to generate more and new attention towards her next product, her adult videos. But by revealing way too much about herself and then releasing her adult video, I think it damaged the Belle Delphine brand more than it helped. Sure, she got paid, and she got paid a lot. But once her fans got exactly what they wanted, I think the interest died down. Which brings me to this YouTube channel here. The YouTube channel Sunnyv actually made a very smart and an in-depth analysis video about why Belle Delphine's career died. Go watch that. I strongly agree with what he said in that video. All the mystery surrounding Belle Delphine has been answered because she went and did all these podcasts and interviews. There was no more mystery for fans in the media to be excited about or interested in. Belle Delphine's story seems already complete because of these podcast interviews. From this video, quote, "There's nothing else to look forward to and therefore there's no reason to care about what she's up to. She revealed everything for a surge in short-term revenue. However, the long-term consequences are already starting to reveal themselves." End quote. So this new hiatus that she's in, maybe she's building mystery and maybe she will try to come back. But there's a good chance that might not work anymore. Chapter 4. Maybe she cares for what her legacy will be online. I think she also was very careful of what she shared online for the public to consume. Now, the degenerate in you might be raising them eyebrows and ask, what the hell is she gonna be worried of? She already bared herself for many men to see. Sorry, a very bad pirate voice. Anyway, hear me out. What I mean by careful of what she shared online are, first, she was careful because I think maybe the market was already oversaturated with the same content style she produced. Second, she wanted to maintain the private parts private. The private parts of her life still kept private. And third, it is my strong belief that she did care of what her legacy online will be. For the first one, she understands there's a lot of cute girls out there doing the same thing that she's doing. And before releasing the more adult content, instead of flooding her fans with the content they demanded, she shared just enough to keep the anticipation and excitement going. So, by being careful of what she shared and how much she shared online, she was able to maintain the allure, she was able to maintain the anticipation, and finally, she was able to maintain her fans salivating, feeling excited, and wanting more. Thus, keeping the business and brand running until she finally released what the fans wanted. And of course, she profited from this. For the second reason, it's quite simple. She's being careful of what she shares because she still values her private life. If you are like me who didn't do a lot of reading about her before this video, you'd be surprised to know that Belle, the real person, claims she is actually quite a different person from the Belle Delphine, the character, that millions see online. What a surprise. And it seems she wanted to maintain that private part of her life private. Okay, I'll stop with these stupid puns. In addition, Despite her being well known as this S.E.X symbol online, when asked if she can leave the internet, she replied with a strong yes, adding, quote, "I'm very good at switching off. Whenever I'm out with people, I'm 100% their attention and I won't think about anything else. So I'm very good at putting things down when I have to." End quote. In addition, when asked to describe more about her family, in all the podcast interviews I've watched, Belle seems to try her best to not share too much about her family and their private lives. She did talk kind of a lot about her dad, but her answers about the deeper parts of her family and her family's private lives were still secretive and vague. Finally, the third reason why she is careful of what she shares online, and this you can claim as me scratching the bottom of the barrel, but it's my strong opinion that she's carefully crafting her image and what her legacy will be online. What I mean is, it's surprising to see her as this very considerate, very reasonable, and very thoughtful person in those interviews, and I think she was trying to project all these good qualities consciously and well planned. Besides the reason that she was trying to build anticipation for her next content she'll release, I think she's also being careful not to become part of that list of online celebrities who've gone nuts and lost it all. The only proof I have for this claim is her constant confessions of her love for the internet. If she does love the internet that much, then I'm betting my right ball that she knows a lot of tragic stories of internet celebrities who lost it all, became infamous and despised, and are now the butt of the memes today. I think she doesn't want to become part of that list. Yes, Belle is infamous, but the difference is she seems to be loved not only by her fans but also by other online celebrities. Conclusion. I set out to understand who Belle Delphine is, and I did learn who the character is, what the brand is, and the person behind all this. Again, whether you believe me or not, I really knew very little about Belle Delphine before making this video. So, don't be surprised if the things I shared here I find interesting, but for you, old news. And to be honest, I have no good conclusion written to end this simple research I made because I feel like I'm satisfied in finally knowing or getting to know a little bit of who she is, even if it's just a small part of her. I am now adding Belle Delphine in my brain's cabinet file of information on people who I'll never meet in real life. Of course, in the alive section of the cabinet. Now, it seems Belle Delphine is quiet. But I think opportunities for online celebrities, especially for those who are accepted and loved, opportunities for them, it's like a rolling wheel. One moment they're up, popular, celebrated. Another moment they're down there, crushed by obscurity or insanity. And I have this weird feeling I've gotten from watching way too much Belle Delphine podcasts. I have this weird feeling that she'll find a way to come back. Maybe right now she's just enjoying the spoils of her labor and she's just resting. However, I won't be surprised if one day a video clip of Belle being safely tied on a spinning wheel and doing something provocative will come out and will once again capture the attention of many people and reignite the interest of her army of simps. I hope this video helped you understand more about the person featured and the brand discussed. If you want to listen to the podcast I listened to and read the articles I read, all links are provided in the description below. If you like this video, mind smashing that subscribe button and also start making love with that like button now. I'm your boy Alan D. I'm dropping the mic. Thanks for listening.